What are we going to take today? Huh? What will we take today, girls?
The third read.
We'll take what? Been written in front of you, girls. Do you remember what we took yesterday?
Yes, the first and the second read.
Yes, we took previous periods. We took the first and second read of what? Of the excerpt is what? Our excerpt is what?
The Montgomery bus and the woman who started it.
Excellent. The Montgomery bus boycott and Joe, the woman behind the distribution of the leaflets, which we can call or say that she lit the spark of the whole fire. Okay. Okay. Sarah, are you here?
Yes, miss.
Sarah yesterday asked me about WPC. Here it refers to, as Rina said, Women Political Council,
Yeah.
not the White Privilege Conference.
Can you repeat it, miss? What is it?
It is Women Political Council. Okay.
Yes,
Why? Because Robinson, Joanne Robinson, was the head of this council. So that's why.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So in the first excerpt, we took a memoir by Joanne Robinson. She was telling us about how she started, or how the bus boycott started, because of Rosa Parks. When she refused to give up her seat to a white man, she was arrested and then put into jail. Okay, and then she saw Joanne Robinson, with the help of her colleagues, distributed leaflets on the black people to stop riding the bus, and that's what they did. They boycotted the bus for a year, almost a year. And then after that, okay, a law came out that there is no more discrimination in the bus. Today, in literature, open page 374, 374. Are you with me? 374. We will evaluate argument. What is evaluate argument? Argument is the argumentative essay that you wrote in the first term. Argument is when you have an opinion and you want to express it to people, and there might be an opposing opinion. So you have your opinion and there might be an opposing opinion. This is an argument. So you deliver your opinion, you give your opinion, you present your opinion, and you are aware of the opposing opinion. Okay? Today we'll take a speech. A speech of whom? Let me share for you the PowerPoint and then start. Okay? Is it? Here, look, be with me, girls. The lesson support for chapter 16, okay, the bus boycott, third read. What will we take? A few years ago, not a few years ago, like around 60 years ago, there was a president. His name was John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was American president. He was the 35th president of the United States. He took office on January 1960. 1960, be aware of the time, after Rosa Parks and after the bus boycott. He spoke out in favor of civil rights for Black Americans, and in 1963 he proposed historic civil rights legislation. He wanted to sign legislation of the Black civil rights. Black civil rights, that they are American citizens, no more discrimination, no more segregation, okay? They are American citizens with all the rights of a white man. Okay, this is John F. Kennedy. He started it. He spoke for it. Not he started it, of course, but it has been started a long time ago before John F. Kennedy. But I want to say that he took a serious step. So, but unfortunately, he was killed. This is John F. Kennedy. This is his wife when they were in parade, and then here when he was shot. Okay, and was got shot 3 shots in his head and his throat, and he died immediately. So he didn't live to sign this rights legislation. And then who followed him? Lyndon Baines Johnson. Lyndon Johnson was the 36th president of the United States. He held office in 1963 after the death or after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So John F. Kennedy is the one who wanted to sign this legislation, and Lyndon Johnson is the one who signed it. Okay, he followed the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The rights described. Let me. Ragad, are you here, Ragad?
Yes.
Read your Ragad from the slide.
The rights described in the bill had been
Yes.
written into the U.S. Constitution following the Civil War nearly 100 years earlier. Unfortunately, those rights had not been enforced. It was through protest and demonstration that activists gained the attention needed for the federal government to act to enforce these rights. After the assassination of President Kennedy in November of 1963, Johnson was able to follow through on the legislation that his predecessor had begun.
Yes, so the rights in this bill that he signed, that he is signing now, the rights in this bill had been written in the US Constitution. Remember before, when there was, at the beginning, when there were slaves, and then came Abraham Lincoln and Civil War, and then after ending slavery, after ending slavery, they started discrimination. Okay, after ending slavery, they started the discrimination. What happened in discrimination? As we discussed previous times, white only sign. So those rights had not been enforced. There were rights in the Constitution, but they were not enforced. No one listened to these laws. It was through protest and demonstration. People started to make protests and demonstrations like bus boycott. Okay, and this organization like NAACP, or okay, that with Martin Luther King, and with the help of his friends, colleagues like Joe Annison, like Rosa Parks, they were calling for this federal government, for their federal rights. It was in the Constitution but not activated. So John F. Kennedy wanted to sign it, but he was assassinated. He was killed. So Lyndon Johnson is the one who signed it. Okay. Okay. So let be with me, guys. Open page 374. Dana Shaheen. Dana.
Yes, miss.
Yes, Dana Shaheen. Read ya Dana from the book 374. From third read, evaluating argument. Then are you here?
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Your
Miss,
book, do you have a book?
Third reading, evaluating arguments.
Yes.
Read the excerpt by Joanne Gibson Robinson and David J. Guerra again. Then read the following excerpt from each speech given by President Johnson on his signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This act is a result of many years of hard work by civil rights activists, including Robinson and WPC. Objectives: and the leaflet that Joanne Gibson Robinson created underline the label that central claim she makes, and President Johnson's speech underlined his central claim.
Yes. In his speech, we underline the central claim. What does he want to convince people to do? Again, what does he want to convince people to do? Continue.
Read down, miss. All persons?
Yes.
All persons shall be entitled to the full
Entitled.
and equal enjoyments of the good services, facilities, and privileges, advantages, and accommodations of any place of public accommodations as defined in this section without discrimination or segregation on the ground of race, color, religion, or national origin.
So thank you, Dana. This is the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title 2, Injunctive Relief Against Discrimination in Places of Public Accommodation. This is the law. All persons shall be entitled to the full and equal enjoyment of the goods. So remember when they were not allowed to enter some supermarkets? So all persons shall be entitled to the full and equal enjoyment of goods, services, facilities, and privileges, advantages, and accommodations of any place they go, of any place of a public accommodation as defined in this section, without discrimination or segregation on the ground of race, color, religion, or national origin. Okay, now I'll make you listen. Now we have the excerpt. Okay, the excerpt we will start now and make you listen to the video. Follow him while he read. Follow him. Okay, I will tell you when exactly he starts from when he says American of every race and color. Minute 3 here.
Far corners of distant continents. The ideals of those American patriots still shape the struggles of men who hunger for freedom. This is a proud triumph. Yet those who founded our country knew that freedom would be secure only if each generation fought to renew and enlarge its meaning. From the Minuteman at Concord to the soldiers in Vietnam, each generation has been equal to that trust. Americans of every race and color have...
Here, girls, he started it. Americans of every race and color. Do you find it? 375, page 375. Are you with me, grade 10?
Yes.
Are you following?
died in battle to protect our freedom. Americans of every race and color have worked to build a nation of widening opportunities. Now, our generation of Americans has been called on to continue the unending search for justice within our own borders. We believe that all men are created equal, yet many are denied equal treatment. We believe that all men have certain unalienable rights, yet many Americans do not enjoy those rights. We believe that all men are entitled to the blessings of liberty, yet millions are being deprived of those blessings, not because of their own failures, but because of the color of their skin. The reasons are deeply embedded in history and tradition and the nature of man. We can understand without rancor or hatred how this all happened, but it cannot continue. Our Constitution, the foundation of our republic, forbids it. The principles of our freedom forbid it. Morality forbids it. And the law I will sign tonight forbids it. That law is the product of months of the most careful debate and discussion. It was proposed more than 1 year ago by our late and beloved President, John F. Kennedy. It received the bipartisan support of more than 2/3 of the members of both the House and the Senate. An overwhelming majority of Republicans, as well as Democrats, voted for it. It has received the thoughtful support of tens of thousands of civic and religious leaders in all parts of this nation. And it is supported by the great majority of the American people. The purpose of this law is simple. It does not restrict the freedom of any American so long as he respects the rights of others. It does not give special treatment to any citizen. It does say the only limit to a man's hope for happiness and for the future of his children shall be his own ability. It does say that there are those who are equal before God shall now also be equal in the polling booths, in the classrooms, in the factories, and in hotels and restaurants and movie theaters and other places that provide service to the public. I am taking steps to implement the law under my constitutional obligation to take care that the laws are faithfully executed.
Our excerpt ends here, girls. Our excerpt ends here. Of course, it's a long speech. Okay, here. He'll start signing it. Okay, as I showed you in the picture. And he said that John F. Kennedy is the one who proposed it, and because of assassination, Johnson will sign this legislation. Okay, so before we read, we were asked to underline the central claim. So I will. Do you want to hear it again, or you reread it silently?
We will read it.
Okay, reread it silently, please. Dareen, I want you to give me repetition in this. Anything repeated, any words or phrases were repeated here. Dareen, are you here?
Yes, Miss.
Dareen? I want
Yes.
repetition, Dareen. Repetition. What did he repeat in his speech?
Miss, in page 375, right?
375, 376, yes. Dareen, give me a repetition.
Americans of every race and color.
Americans of every race and color. Excellent. Continue reading, girls. Dalia, I want another repetition. Excellent, ya Dareen. I want another repetition, Dalia. Dalia, are you here?
Yes. Morgan.
Repetition of the passage.
We believe that all men have certain
All men have certain unalienable rights. Is it yes? We believe all men. We believe all men. Excellent, excellent. Liliane. Liliane.
Yes, Miss.
Is there another repetition? Another repetition. 375. You have your book, Lilian?
Yes, miss.
Okay, another repetition. And Asma, you get me a repetition too, Asma. Asma, Lilian, no repetition?
No, wait, miss.
Asma? Asma, are you here? Lilian, do you have any more repetition? Lilian?
Miss, yet many Americans do not enjoy those rights.
Okay, yes. How many times it's repeated?
It's repeated 2 times.
Okay, thank you, Lilian. Okay, so you see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. We said that John F. Kennedy is the one who proposed the legislation, and then Johnson is the one who signed it. Okay. Question number 1. What words or phrases does Johnson repeat in his speech? Okay. Choose one example and analyze the importance. Dareen said every race and color. Dalia said we believe all men have certain. We believe all men. So there is every race and color we believe, and there is forbids it. Forbids it. Let me say in line 17. It cannot continue. Our constitution, the foundation of our republic, forbids it. The principles of our freedom forbids it. Morality forbids it. Forbid what? Forbid discrimination. They forbid discrimination. They are against discrimination. So the repetition is to what is in speech. There should be repetition. Repetition is a rhetorical technique to convince others, to focus, to show. When I repeat, I show. Okay, I emphasize. So like we believe forbids it, it does not. Every race and color. Why did he use repetition? To emphasize, to show, to insist on the meaning. Question number 2. What was President Johnson trying to persuade Americans to do? What does he want to persuade Americans to do? What does he want in his speech? Rujain?
Yes, miss.
What does he
He was
want?
trying to persuade them that discrimination should stop and all people are the same and equal, no matter what race they are.
Excellent. Read it.
He was trying to persuade all Americans to support equality for African Americans.
Excellent. Question number 3. Okay. Fatima, read the question.
Yes, miss. Are the words you or your daughter or mother an example of logos or pathos? Give a reason for your answer.
Do you remember what is logos and what is pathos? Logos and pathos are ways of rhetorical devices, how to convince others. Logos is when I talk about logic, mind, pathos, when I play about the heart, passion. Logic and passion. Logos, when I talk about logic, I say facts. Pathos, when I talk to the emotions. When I say you or your daughter or mother, logic or feelings?
Feelings?
Feelings. Why? They appeal to mind or to emotion?
To emotion, because like our mother, our daughter, or like us, they're important in our life. So
Yes. Read it, dear.
they are an example of pathos because they appeal to the emotions of love and fear. They are intended to make the reader feel that people whom they love are threatened.
Yes. Okay, now
Miss,
focus on. Yes.
Miss, we're not going to read it again with you, the excerpt, or analyzed like.
You want me to reread it?
No, not because of that, because like we heard it and we answered the questions, but we think we have like some points. On my side, personally, I think like we need to talk about them.
Okay. So open page 375. I thought the words are easy and there is no need to analyze it, but it's okay. Remark upon signing the civil rights. This is a part of the speech, okay, by President Johnson, 1964. Okay, Bilqis. Yes, dear.
Oh, Miss, can I go for a second, please?
Yes, go. Bilqis.
Thank you, Miss.
Welcome, dear. Bilqis, are you here? Buthaina? Bayan?
Yes, Miss.
Read, dear, read Buthaina from the book 375.
From the beginning,
Yes.
Americans of every race and color have died in battle to protect our freedom. Americans of every race and color have worked to build a nation of widened opportunities. Now our generation of American has.
Here he talks about the what Americans do. Because this after the Vietnam War too. So Americans of every race and color have died in battle. They of every race and color, white, whether white or black, have died in battle to protect our freedom. Americans of every race and color have worked to build a nation of widening opportunities to increase the opportunities. Continue. Now our generation.
Yes, Miss. Our generation of American has been called on to continue unending search of justice within our own borders. We believe
so
that
now we want to continue searching for justice. Okay, we want justice now. Continue.
We believe that all men are created equally, yet many are denied equally treatment. We
So
believe
because it's
that
an argumentative essay, so I should mention others' opposing opinions. So we believe that all men are created equal, yet there are people who oppose that. They don't want to achieve equality for everyone. Continue.
we believe that all men have certain unalienable rights, yet many Americans.
Unalienable rights. This is in the Constitution that all men are equal, all men have unalienable rights. Everyone has the rights.
Yet many Americans do not enjoy those rights. We believe that all men are
But there are people who do not enjoy this right,
entitled
those unalienable rights.
to the blessing of liberty, yet millions are being deprived of those of blessing not because of their own prowess, but because of the color of their skin. The reason are
Yes, all
deeply.
men are entitled to the blessings of liberty. All men are entitled for blessing of liberty. But there are people, or there are millions, are being deprived of this privilege not because of their failure, not because they are failures and they are in jail, no, because of the color of their skin. Because of the color of their skin, they are deprived of the privileges of liberty. Continue, Buthayna, the reason?
The reasons are deeply embedded in history and tradition, and natural of man. We can understand without rancor and hatred how this all happened, but it can't continue. Our Constitution, the foundation of our republic, forbid it. The principle of our freedom forbid it. Morality forbid it, and the law I will sign tonight forbid it. The law
Yes,
in
so
the
the reasons are deeply embedded in history and tradition, and the nature of man we can understand without rancor or hatred. Without hatred, we understand, but it cannot continue. We cannot keep that. We have to stop it. The Constitution, which is the foundation of our country, forbids it, and it says it's not acceptable. The principles of our freedom forbids it. Morality, even morals, forbids it. And the law I will sign today forbids it. Okay? Thank you, Buthayna. Ghada, please continue from line 21. Thank you, Buthayna.
That law is the product of months of the most careful debate and discussions. It was proposed more than 1 year ago by our late and beloved President John F. Kennedy to receive the bipartisan support of more than 2/3.
Yes, so the law I will sign today has been proposed by our beloved past president, John F. Kennedy. It was proposed more than a year. Continue.
Of the members of both the House and the Senate, an overwhelming majority of Republicans as well as Democrats voted for it.
Yes, because we know that America is a free country, so when they want to take a law or sign a law, the majority should agree. Okay, so he says that this law came after a debate and a long debate and a long agreement and a long as a month of most careful debates and discussion among the Senate. The Senate is where they write the laws and from where the laws come, the Senate, and the White House where the president lives with his group and assistants, and overwhelming majority of Republicans and Democrats and Republicans. You need the two different parties in politics. Okay, so he wants to say that the majority of the United States agreed. It has continued, Ghada.
It has received the thoughtful support of tens of thousands of civic and religious leaders in all parts of this nation, and it is supported by the great majority of the American people. The purpose of the law is simple. It does not restrict the freedom of any American so long as he represents the rights of others.
Yes, excellent. It doesn't restrict the freedom of any Americans. It doesn't restrict the freedom. No, so long as he respects the right of others. This law gives rights to others. Continue.
It does not give special treatment to any citizen. It does say the only limit to man's hope for happiness and for the future of his children shall be his own ability. It does say that there are those who are equal before God shall now also be equal in the polling booths.
Yes, if we are all equal in front of God, we are equal in front of God. Okay, so now we are equal before God shall now be equal in front of everyone. Okay, if we are equal in front of God, we shall be equal in everywhere else, in theaters, in streets, in the transportation, everywhere in every place. Continue, Ghada.
in the classrooms, in the factories, and in hotels, restaurants, movie theaters, and other places that provide service to the public. I'm taking steps to implement the law under my constitutional obligation to take care that the laws are faithfully executed.
Executed, yes. Now we will sign it and get sure that the law is, take care that the laws are faithfully executed. Okay, we will stop here and then I see you after 5 minutes, girls, for the next period.